We are back at it again. Yeah, talk about Tuesday. First day back this week. A little under the weather yesterday. I don't know what the hell I had, but man, it was kicking my ass Sunday. I know that. Yep, to come back, work a 10-hour day on Tuesday. I have a few more of these this week. 2 days in, I'm already 2 hours behind. Thank God I had vacation time, or what they call PTO, which is paid time off, I guess. I think that's what it stands for. Hell, I don't know. They started that a few years ago. The company I work for used to give me 2 weeks of vacation pay and 2 weeks of sick pay at the beginning of the year, and then of course you can carry over. But they took all that shit away and started making you earn it. So now it's called PTO, paid time off. Yeah, so it accrues each week. I get a certain amount of hours each week to add to my bank, so to speak. Anyway, what's up, y'all? Okay, I know I'm a day late. I generally am on here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but being that I didn't go to work yesterday, I was too sick. There was no way. After Sunday, there's no way I could have worked out yesterday. So I didn't do a video or anything yesterday. I just sat around and took it easy most of the day. You know, where's all my people at? I guess YouTube's not sending out notifications or something. Come on. There you go. Get on up in there. Anyway. Yep. On my way home again. Yep. And it'll seem like I'll sit down and watch TV for a few minutes, and then I'll probably get something to eat, watch a little more TV, then hell, before I know it, it'll be time to start getting ready for work again tomorrow. Yay. Call it Hump Day Wednesday. Yep, something like that anyway. Man, I got nobody watching right now. What's up with these live highlights that YouTube is doing? That's like fucking nuck and futz, you know what I mean? I've never seen it before. They've done 2 of my videos that way. I guess it's because I was talking about free speech, about running my mouth and saying what I want to say. YouTube decided to make a short video out of it. Of course, you know, they didn't play the whole conversation. You know, they paid like 21 seconds of it. If they had played the whole thing, it would really make more sense than just, you know, 21 seconds of what I was saying. So if anybody out there is offended by anything that I say, well, too bad, because it's my channel and I can do what I want. And if you don't like it, you know how to do this, right? Of course, I hope that I'm entertaining enough that people will stick around and watch what I have to say, because sometimes it's you know, comical, sometimes it's worthwhile, other times not so much. Just kind of depends on my mood for the day. What do you do? What do I want for dinner tonight? I want some food, baby. Food for dinner. I don't know. What, are you gonna stop and pick something up, or are you gonna cook when you get home? Answer me that, and I'll let you know. Yeah. Yeah, no shit, she says. Something light. You know, like I don't know. I don't know. Are you gonna need to go before you get home? Well, are you gonna stop and get something to eat, or are you gonna go to the grocery store, or what? Tell me something. You gotta tell me something. That way I know. Yep. What? You're gonna stop, right? Yes, no, maybe. All right, so I guess, I don't know, something quick and simple. My throat's been hurting today. I've had this swallowing thing going on all day long. It's like my throat's kind of dry and irritated. It's probably because I didn't get very good sleep last night. Yeah, something like that anyway. Depends on what I want. I could do for, you know what I like from Jimmy John's, right? Just give me something from Jimmy John's or Mike Subs. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. Jersey Mike's are you lost me. What? I said get me some Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's. Either one's fine. I'll take care of that. You can get me an unwich or something if you want. I like the unwich. Yep. How's that sound? Pretty good? Yeah, the signal was gone. Yeah, I know. I always lose my signal on 70 for some reason. There's actually a couple of spots where I lose it. Usually right as I'm coming through O'Fallon. Then I lose it again up by that St. Andrews movie theater or whatever it is up there, St. Andrews Plaza. I usually lose it up there too, so yeah, my videos suck on this road. But, you know, that's what I get for... Alright, sounds good. Well, good. Thank you for checking. I appreciate that. See, y'all, I got the best girlfriend in the world. Oh, fiance, excuse me. I have to call her my fiance because if I don't, I'll upset her. But she knows where I sleep. She's a good lady, though. That's for sure. You know, I'm a sick all day. Yeah, I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. See, thing, I swear, I hate driving on 70. I'm on Interstate headed east. This thing's like so. But, alright, yeah, I know. Hey, Megan, what's happening? Man, I just got all my peeps stopping in on me. Dee's already been in here talking to me a minute. Yep. She was asking what I wanted for dinner. I guess if I lived in Rock Hill where you live, Ashley, I'd want pizza. No, I'm just joking. Fan of Jimmy John's pizza. I will eat it. But I like their zesty Italian sandwich the best. That's what I like from Jimmy John's. That's the shit right there. Of course, they're not as big as they used to be. That Italian sandwich used to be huge. I mean, it had all kinds of shit in it. Not anymore. You know, that shrinkflation stuff that fucking dumbass President Biden. Yeah, that guy. You know, everything. Oh, you work at Domino's Pizza. Oh, I'm sorry. I like Domino's. I like their sandwich too. I'm sorry. What pizza place did I say? Papa John's? I knew Domino's. I don't know. Papa John's came to mind for some reason. Maybe I was on a different planet for a minute. I probably was. Let's see. I don't need to stop for gas today. That's a good thing. All right, folks. I may lose my signal here in just a second. Yet again. Because it likes to throw me off down here around the mall. I guess it's because all the shit, you know, around here. You got stores and car dealerships and more stores and shops and shit like that. So this area is really busy. but 5G will only go so far. Oh God. Anyway, like I was saying earlier, I didn't know whether I was going to do a video or not. Today. I didn't know if I would really feel like it or not. I thought about just turning it on and let you guys look at my pretty face while I was on my way home. But I don't get enough spectators for that, I don't guess. But it makes for an exciting time anyway, regardless of whether or not I feel like it. You know, not a pretty truck. All right, let me see here. If you lose signal, don't worry, I'm going to. Oh, you're not going anywhere? Oh, okay. Are you just hopping out of the map? Okay. Did you, look at this dumbass washing the windshield. I'm like 10 car lengths behind him. It just sprayed the front of my car windshield shit. So, did you work today, Ashley? Working a day shift during the week? Or are you just like a weekend person? Part-time, full-time, or what? All right, I got 2 people in there. Who's the 2 people? I know Ashley's in there. Who else? D, you still in there? You're off work tomorrow. Okay. So you get what? 2 days off during the week, and then you work on the weekends. Is that how it goes? You know, I used to hate working at Walmart when I was going to college. This was about, oh, I don't know, 13 years ago, so or something like that. Actually, 15 years ago. Is that right? Yeah, 15 years ago, I moved here from North Carolina to Missouri, and I decided, you know, because I was having a hard time finding a job. Anyway, I may have lost my signal again. Oh, you're off work tomorrow. Okay. So anyway, I was having a hard time finding a job. So I decided to go back to school. Fucking dumbass. So I was working at Walmart part-time and going to school. It was actually supposed to be full-time. But what they would do is, like, during the week, they would work me 3 or 4 hours a day. I would come in like 7 and I'd go home at like 10 or 11, you know, because they have to give me a lunch break or a break in that time period I'm in. So they'd work me 4 or 5 hours a day during the week. And then on the weekend, they would schedule me for like 10 hours. I got tired of that shit really quick. I hated working for Walmart. I mean, I liked the job. I liked what I did there. But, you know, for what I was making, it really wasn't worth it. It's just enough to get me through school, you know. And of course, I didn't really have any expenses at that time, really. You know, I mean, I did. I didn't, you know, but it wasn't like I needed to make the kind of money I'm making now in order to survive. You know what I mean? So anyway, I used to hate that shit because it was like I couldn't do anything on the weekends. You know, I couldn't schedule anything or make any plans. And then in order for me to get a weekend off or a Saturday off where I could at least do something fun, I had to schedule it like 2 weeks out because I got paid every 2 weeks and they did the schedule every 2 weeks. So I had to schedule 2 weeks out. You know, I mean, who knows what they're going to be doing in 2 weeks? You know, not me, because like I like to do shit like on the spur of the moment. You know, for instance, you know, when, like if I want to take a trip somewhere, sometimes, you know, I might be sitting on the computer on Thursday night and see something cool and go, hey, D, you want to go do this Saturday or Sunday? You know, so I wouldn't really have time to schedule off. You know what I mean? So, you know, that just didn't work for me, really. I was glad to leave there when I did. You know, I don't even know if I gave them a notice or not. I don't think, well, maybe I did. I was kind of pissed off at them about when my mom died back in 2012, my mom passed away. And of course, you know, I had to go to Charlotte from here in Missouri to, you know, handle some stuff, you know, with my mom's estate, get all my ducks in a row, and, you know, start, you know, the process for a funeral and all that stuff. And then when I got back, it's like as soon as I got back, I started working again. You know, they didn't give me my like 3 days that I was supposed to get a bereavement, you know. So I was pretty upset about that. And they knew I was upset. And I think that was kind of at the point. Yeah, I know. That's crazy, ain't it? And that was kind of like at the point, at that point, that was pretty much the deciding factor when I knew I was going to leave that job. I just, you know, plus, I just didn't, I just couldn't work around those people anymore. You know, there was a couple of guys there I didn't really get along with, and I wasn't going to try because it was pretty much impossible. So I didn't. And, you know, like I said, I don't remember whether I gave them a notice or not. But then a temporary service called me, which is kind of how I got into what I'm doing now for a living. I got a call from a place called St. Louis Van Interiors. They do upfits on commercial vehicles, just like kind of what I do now. Only I was building ladder racks. That's all I did because I had some wiring experience. You know, and even though it was what would be considered low voltage, which is 120 volts, you know, they put me on wired up ladder racks for lights and shit. So I did pretty well at that. You know, I was fast, and you know, I had to build these things out of boxes. So you know, I had all the parts. And they had a guy with me for one day, and they turned me loose, and I did it on my own. I worked for them for a pretty good spell, and then had another job where I was driving a forklift for a company that sold air conditioning parts. I liked that job pretty well, but the only thing about working temporary services, and I don't know if anybody who's going to watch this video or anybody who's seeing it now has ever worked for a temporary agency or not. You know, they bring you in, they tell you what they're going to pay you. You know, you don't really have an opportunity to tell them what you want to make. So like when I was doing the forklift thing, I think I was making like maybe $12.50 an hour. Now, of course, this was back, you know, 2012. So, you know, things weren't as expensive back then as they are now. They were getting there, but they weren't there yet. And I was making like $12.50 an hour or something, but I found out through the grapevine that the company was making $16 an hour. And I thought, you know, that was kind of a ripoff. Plus, I didn't have any benefits. You know, I didn't have medical insurance. They didn't offer, you know, paid sick days or anything. And the thing that sucked about that was that when I was doing the air conditioning parts job, driving a forklift there, apparently I broke a bone in my foot, and I was having a real hard time getting around. And the doctor put me in one of those, what they call a flat boot, you know, to keep your foot from flexing. And he told me he didn't want me to walk around in. You know, I was like, well, yeah, a little bit, but not a whole lot. He's like, ain't happening. So you're gonna have to take some time off. So I thought, okay. So I called the temporary service. I told them what was going on. They were like, oh yeah, you know, we'll handle it. We'll make sure that, you know, you'll be able to go back to work, blah, blah, blah. Well, when my foot got better, they didn't want me back because they said I wasn't dependable. What? I had a fucking medical excuse. You gotta be kidding me, right? So I ended up not going back there anyway. So then I went to another company that did medical supplies, and I drove a forklift that, you know, you stand on the platform and the whole platform raised. That was pretty freaking cool. So what I would do is I'd go grab a pallet of stuff, and and they had these bins and these shelves, and I would, go down like these aisles. It was like you had an aisle, then you had a section number, then you had a shelf number, and stuff like that, which was real easy for me to navigate. I mean, it wasn't rocket science or anything, but the thing I liked about it the most is it was a stand-up forklift, and when you got to the part, or when you got to where the part was going, the whole thing lifted up. So you were up in the air, whatever shelf you were on. Say if you were like on shelf, like shelf 3 or level 3, you would be like, 30 feet off the ground, because these things were like 10 feet in between. So that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that job. But and then after I graduated from college, I got an associate's degree in electrical. That's when there was a residential company looking for help. I still couldn't get on with a regular electrical company here in St. Louis, because unfortunately most of the companies around here only deal with union workers. Well, I didn't want to be a part of no damn union. I had a bad experience with a union in North Carolina. What was they call themselves? The Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Yeah, bullshit. If you don't do what they say, they'll can you. You know what I mean? They don't care about the employees. The union bosses are the ones that make all the damn money. Unions suck. I hate unions. The union is like a fucking organized mafia, as far as I'm concerned. They strong arm employers into doing what they want them to do, and they're not really concerned about the employees. They're concerned about how much money they put in their fucking pockets. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit racket all the way around. So if you work in a union and you're offended by my speech, screw off. I don't care. I'll never work for a union, that's for sure. Yeah, I know. My signal got cut out again, didn't it? That happens a lot. You put me on your TV, you're commenting through your phone. I hear you. Can you see me now, Ashley? Are we still good, or did I lose my signal completely? Let me know. Anyway, I just came off the interstate, so that might be... Oh, yes, we're good. Okay, good. So, I don't know how much of the conversation got cut out. I usually go back and watch my own videos just to see. I need to, there's a program that I can get, an app that'll go through and it'll edit my video for me. I don't even have to do anything. I may have to get that app, but I don't want to use something that costs me money, because I'm not making anything from YouTube on this, but I just do it, to occupy my extra time, and it's, it's nice to spread this pretty face around, not. Anyway, but yeah, unions suck, and one of the first arguments I ever had was with my uncle, Buddy. He's retired now, but he was a bigwig. Answer my phone. Why answer my phone? Are you calling me? Somebody calling me? I can't answer my phone. I'm driving. You're not supposed to talk on the phone in Missouri while you're driving. You're gonna call me on the phone when you call me later. Okay. Yeah, I'll answer the phone when you call me later. Since you're making progress, I'll give you a benefit of the doubt. How's that? Anyway, so one of the very first arguments I had was with my uncle, Buddy, who was a bigwig with the Teamsters Union through UPS up in Washington, D.C. And he's gung-ho fucking Democrat, union worker, and blah, blah, blah. I remember a time in life when my Uncle Buddy was really cool, but he's a real dick now. And I guess it's because, as a little kid, he could manipulate me and get me to believe anything, you know, and look up to him and all that good shit. I don't even care to talk to him now, to be honest with you. He's always kind of treated me like I was beneath him because, you know, he did the same thing with my mom, his sister. You know, they had different views about things in the world, and for a long time they didn't talk. And then one time she needed some money, and she had no choice but to call him. And you know, it wasn't one of these things. You know, if your family gets in trouble, you know, financially, you help them and you forget about it. You know, he expected her to pay him back. You know, what kind of fucking brother are you? You know what I mean? Now, I got brothers, and if one needed something bad enough from me, well, at least, well, maybe not all of them, maybe one of them, because there's really only one of my brothers that I really like anyway. I don't know if he feels the same way, but that's okay too. But he would be, you know, one of the only one that I would help. The other one, my oldest brother, Robert, yeah, he's a piece of work. I'll never do anything for him again. Fuck him. After what he did. I'll go into that another day. I'm not going to talk about it today because it'll just piss me off. But it has to do with a car that was given to me by my dad. I'll just leave it at that. That's a to be continued story. Yeah, I know you miss talking to me, Ashley. I know. Okay, I know how many you tell me all the time. I know. Okay. So you'll get to talk to me here in a little while. Just give me a call or whatever. All right. So I've been on here 28 minutes, and Dee's not home yet. So I guess I'm gonna park in the street until she gets here, and then I'll move my car in the driveway once she's here. Now, hopefully, my phone's not going to try and switch over to my Wi-Fi. It probably will. Let me see if I'm good enough here. Yeah. The driveways are kind of tight. Yeah. So, all right. Well, it looks like I've lost my signal again, folks. You missed talking to me. Yeah, I know. Message deleted. Okay, Dad. Answer your phone. I'm going to call you later. Okay, yes, we're good. Signal out. Blah, blah, blah. Put you on the TV. Okay, good. I've never worked for a temp service. It's probably a good thing you never did. It sucked. You've always been good enough that you were able to get brats tomorrow. Okay, that sounds good. Brats tomorrow. All right, so I guess she's going to Jimmy John's. No, you're still on? I'm still good. Okay. I didn't have a signal. I thought, being as close as I am to my house, I thought that my phone would try to jump over to my Wi-Fi in the house. However, I really do need to go because my doggy's inside. He's been in his cage all day. So you guys take it easy, and we'll talk to you again. Ashley, give me a call later. I'll answer the phone, but you got to give me time to eat and stuff. All right, y'all. We'll see you again maybe tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace. Hi, neighbor lady.
Hi, how are you?
All right. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
All right.